Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I think this is kind of fun that you did that.
Yeah, it's a great time. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I'm Mexican myself, and I come from a family that came from Mexico, so it's kind of contradicting that I'm even calling.
In what way?
Because a lot of people feel bad that Trump is deporting a lot of people, but I feel like it's kind of for the better good in the end of the day.
Welcome back to Jolah Talks Politics. Remember, these are the conversations that can save America. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Become a member down below. So I would say that 99% of people would agree with deporting violent criminals and people that are here illegally, but the vast majority of people are visa overstays. So for example, there's some people who have been working here for like 20 or 30 years as like teachers and stuff like that, especially dreamers who are brought here as kids by their parents who are not yet US citizens. Deporting those people who are just like working hard in their jobs, they're great members of their communities. Spending that taxpayer money on getting those people out of the country makes no sense. And right now, the numbers are less than half of the deportations under Trump have been like criminals or illegal immigrants or violent criminals. So if it was like 100% just like violent or illegal immigrants, I mean, I don't think anyone would be saying much. But the fact they're going in deporting undocumented people and also people that were promised for years and years, if you keep working hard, then we're going to fix the immigration system and give you a path to immigration. I don't want to spend taxpayer dollars, which is it's expensive to deport someone. I don't want to spend taxpayer dollars there.
No, yeah, and I mean, what people feel like they want to do with their taxpayer money, like I totally agree, because I mean, you should choose completely on where that money goes to. But me being a person who has experienced illegal immigrants that aren't on the spectrum of having some form of, how do you say it, like a background, like they don't have any background at all, like bad background or anything, but they still like, I don't know if maybe if I'm probably sharing a little bit too much, but as when I was 11 years old, I remember like me and my friends, we'd get hit on a lot of the hardworking Mexican men that don't have a background, that do not have, and I'm not saying that all people are like that, because I mean, bad people come in many, 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 many forms. But what I'm saying is that, they should kind of like update their visa and do the right thing instead of being undocumented here, because it's better to be here documented, and that way they can be in the system and they could get deported when they do something bad or they do something wrong. I mean, I would rather it be like that, because um yeah, because I've experienced all forms of illegal immigrants, because me myself, I am Mexican, so I
Yeah, I
do
mean,
talk to a lot of
the
people.
only issue
And
is like with talking about people doing individual crimes, like you said, it does not map onto entire groups of people. And right now, if you ask Americans, they think that a majority of immigrants do violent crime, when the violent crime rate for immigrants, illegal or undocumented or illegal, the rate for those crimes are a lot lower than naturally born American citizens.
mm,
And like as far as like flirting with younger people and assaults in general, that's mostly white men in America and men in general. So I mean, there's a man
yeah, I guess
issue.
men in general, yes,
Yeah,
and I
men in general have a
completely
lot of
agree.
those issues for sure. So I mean,
Yeah.
I don't the immigration system is broken. A big issue is that we don't have any real solutions being proposed. So like Trump talks about the wall and deportations, but there's no talk about
Hmm.
how to fix the immigration system so it doesn't take 10 or 20 years to become an immigrant. There should be a clear system for you to have a path to citizenship or to be, make our process more streamlined, because there's such a backlog, and there is a need for workers in general, and is a need for people from everywhere to be able to apply, and we need to expand our capability to handle asylum claims and things like that. But I just don't. My biggest thing is when I talk to like really big Trump voters, they end up thinking that like most immigrants are super dangerous people and they want to throw them in cages. And I'm like, but no, that's the cases you hear about in the news. But we're trying to do this in a way that makes sense, that doesn't spend all of our taxpayer dollars deporting millions and millions of people when we don't need to, because it actually saves taxpayer money to give a path to citizenship for the vast majority of undocumented people, because it's really expensive to deport someone. It saves taxpayer money, and especially if they're undocumented, they pay into federal systems they can't benefit from with their they have a tax identification number, but they don't have a social security number. So they don't get like social security, but they pay into the systems that we have. So it's a really complicated issue, complicated process that we need to fix. But none of the conversations in America are about how to fix the immigration system, which is sad.
Yeah, I think that's where it all falls down to because, like, let's say, I don't know if all the rumors are true, but let's say, they're getting the food stamps, they're doing this and they're doing that, getting affordable housing and all that does go to taxpayers' money as well. And I mean, and it's nice that we do that and all, but I mean, it could go to people that have already been here too, that can help them as well, instead of these people that are trying to run from a situation that is probably not so good that they should probably fix over there where, it sounds very bad coming from me because I really am glad that I'm here and I'm very happy that I have the opportunity that is here for me. And just like many others, just like me, um, it kind of falls into that too. Your taxpayers' money is coming to all these people that are just coming here in basically in a run that they're getting very desperate. Some of them. I had one guy offer me $20,000 to marry him just so he could stay in the States. I don't know how it is nowadays, but um,
Yeah, I mean, these are a lot
it
of
just
stories on your individual basis, but also, in general, immigration adds to the economy and adds to the tax base by a lot. Economies benefit from immigration because there's more cultures, it's more diverse, and there's also more people in general that work hard and good community members, especially those who are here under protective status. So it's a net gain for the American economy, but just on a human level as well. It just does not make sense to deport many individuals, especially when like the biggest welfare payments go out to states like West Virginia, for example, and the biggest unemployment payments, which are very deep red and have a very low level of immigration. So we have a lot of money going to welfare programs for all people. The idea that immigrants are the reason we can't give more stuff to Americans is just like false. A big reason we can't is because the ultra rich own the system, and I think they make us working class people fight each other rather than come together. So I just want us to come together more
and that is
often.
true. I feel the same way about that for sure because I do feel like, but some of, I mean, I'm sorry to go there, like, but like we just see all these scamming people and we see all these, and I know it's as much as Americans too, because I know that there's a lot of card scammers that are American and all that. But if we could just weed out a little bit of the bad people, even though some of them are good, I feel like maybe like, we could just weed them out a little bit and then bring them back when, like doing the right thing with getting a visa, getting it updated, knowing, documenting their, like we're here, we're still
Yeah,
here,
I
we're
get
not
that, but like,
running.
for example, the case I brought up before, if someone was brought here when they're like 5 years old and they're like 30 now, okay, they never knew any other country, they are 100% American, all right, they're not citizens, but they were dreamers brought over by their parents, and now they're teachers at a local school, all right, that person has never committed a crime, never did anything wrong. That dreamer, the DACA recipient, like there's a person that just got deported from Florida that went to all their hearings and everything, but they got deported still. That person who's been here since they've been a kid and who has been working, and
Mhm.
that person's more than vetted. Like that person is a strong member of their community, a teacher, like I said. I don't know why we're spending taxpayer dollars deporting that person when they're doing an important job teaching children and they're paying taxes. They're paying taxes into their community.
Yes, I'd
So
rather
like,
get
that
the ones
situation
that
is
aren't
crazy to me.
trying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, but
so
like
I'm not
Trump
really
said during his
sure.
campaign, he was not going to deport. Like the example I just brought up, Trump said during the campaign he was not going to deport the people that I just brought up, but they are deporting them, which is my big issue, my huge issue
Oh
with it.
no, I didn't know that part. All I knew, because like my parents, they came a little bit older than the one you're talking about.
Hmm.
And they did all the things. They took the test. They failed a couple times, but they still went. They took the test, and now they're citizens. And I am thankful for that, because they're here and everything like that. But I didn't know that people, that even some people that try to be, it kind of boggles my mind because living so long here, you would think, that they would be citizens by now. So I'm pretty interested in
Yeah.
knowing. Maybe I need to look a little bit further into that because I thought, maybe if you're here, you take the test just like my parents did and everything else, they would, be citizens because that's the process that they took.
Yeah.
and now they don't have to worry, or
It's just
when
not
they're
open to
working
everyone
and everything.
equally. If it was open to everyone equally, that'd be great. But like, for example, they bring up the story about Lake and Riley, which is a terrible situation. But also, I'm not gonna bring up, one case to demonize an entire group, because there are people like I'm saying, and it really is messed up. Because imagine you get a visa and you work on a Trump golf course or Mar-a-Lago, or you work for a hotel, or you work for some other American company, maybe you work on a farm or something, and you're kind of like promised by every president, like, we are gonna fix the immigration system, and you work here for 5 or 10 years, 15 years, doing extreme manual labor, and you don't even have a chance to be vetted. You don't even have a chance to apply for citizenship. We just deport you. Like, we're done with you. We just extracted your labor. We're gonna profit from it. We were able to enjoy your cheap labor for groceries. Now we're gonna kick you out of the country. You never even had a chance to apply. I feel like those situations are the ones that we get like mad about. But like, the conversation is kind of messed up in the media, because, like I said before, they do want us fighting each other. So they make it seem like, oh, liberals want just like open borders. They want to bring killers over here, and then they
Mhm.
they deport a lot of people, and we're like, but like no, like, wait a second, like, there's people that are awesome that we want to give a chance to apply for citizenship. We want a path to citizenship. It's not even guaranteed. We just want a path. But the conversations are kind of muddied by, in the current political climate. You need to be for something or against something. You need to be angry. You got to be angry about something. But if we just take our time to talk about like the possible solutions, I feel like we could help a lot of people, including American citizens, benefit from good immigration
Yeah.
practices.
Yeah, and you know what? You're a very smart man, because I do truly, you know, because I was gonna disagree with you for a little bit, but then as soon as you said like for cheap, like farmers especially and everything, because I did that job too, alongside of a lot of my Latino people, and that job is very hard picking, fruits and stuff like that. But some of them are still bad, but that's all people, like, that's all walks of
Yeah,
life,
and like I
people do
said, it's
stupid
opening the
things all the
process.
time.
It's giving a
Yeah.
chance to apply for immigration, or to apply for
Yeah.
citizenship. It's just giving a chance to apply. It's not guaranteeing it, but it's giving a path. You know what I mean? So if the people you're talking about, if we have a path to immigration, it's not guaranteed. So for the people who are
Mhm.
not like that, they'll have a chance to become citizens. And I'd rather do that, especially when they're working so hard, and we've pretty much, like, you could watch any presidential debate. They're like, we got to fix the system or whatever, and they never do for the past like 50 years. But yeah, I just want to be able to give that person a chance to contribute, like I said, deportations are incredibly expensive. Like, deporting like 100 people costs like $500,000. Like, it's insane how much it costs to deport people
Yeah,
who are
like,
adding to our
that's so
tax base. They're
crazy.
producing for us. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes, I completely agree with the people that do contribute here, because they, like, the farmers giving us fruit and our vegetables and everything else.
and they're
So
teachers
I
and stuff too.
totally
There's
agree.
teachers. There's doctors. There's medical students. There's professors. There's people who work in who want to join like the military, and or like or at least want to volunteer. If they can't join, if they're not citizens, they want to volunteer in their local fire departments. So there's people in all different fields. Both with jobs that you need a degree, jobs that you don't need a degree, jobs that are trade school, not trade school. There's high skilled, those, like, it's all types of immigration that we have
Anyway,
over here, including
because I
including
had,
even engineers and stuff. Like, we have immigrants from all different working class backgrounds and middle class backgrounds that just want a chance to be able to be here and contribute.
yeah, and you're totally right, because my teacher right now, she's a billing and coding teacher, and she's from
Hmm.
Venezuela, and
Yeah.
she grew up, she came here, maybe in her teens or something, and she's my teacher, and she got hurt in a car crash or whatever, but I would hate to see her go, or like people like that go. So you are right, with that, with the sense of it being like people who contribute to our next generation and our living and everything else, and for them to all go compared to the people that they could get that aren't working or aren't really doing much with themselves and just, running about. So,
Now, I
I
will
mean,
say before I go to another caller, and I'll give you the final word then. If you hear my opinion through a different source talking about me, or talking about, like, I guess, liberals or whatever, they're probably going to tell you that liberals are for open borders. They just want anyone coming in. They don't care. They want people to get hurt. They don't care that Lake and Riley died, etc. But if we have that chance to have that conversation, I feel like we often believe in the version of our neighbors that the media tells us to believe in, rather than talking to each other and understanding our viewpoints. You know what I mean?
I just want to make this place a little bit better, and if we
Yeah,
could
definitely.
just have people that are here that want to be here and just do the right thing and all that, but I didn't know that they were deporting people that were working and doing the right thing. That's pretty sad right there.
Yeah, they're publishing numbers every day, and they're publishing like total deportations, like ESPN would publish NBA stats, and I'm like, that's not how we're supposed to do this. We're supposed to do this to make the world better, doing
Yeah.
things that make sense. We're not supposed to
So,
just be happy. And in the comments right now, people are like, get them out of here. We want to see them leave. And it's like, they're even saying we could tell if
yeah.
they're immigrants by looking at them. And that's obviously bad. If you have a standard where we can
Yeah.
tell,
That's
we've
a
had
kind
families
of
from Puerto
racist
Rico be
thing.
detained. Like Puerto Rican families have been detained because the ICE agents did not believe their documentation. A mother, grandmother, and a 3-year-old kid got detained by ICE because they did not believe her. A U.S. military vet got detained by ICE because they did not believe his military documentation. So they're going for numbers, and they're going off
Mm.
of, we could tell that you look like an immigrant. And that can get into some weird things if you
Oh,
just say you
yeah. I
look
thought
like an
they didn't know
immigrant,
what
if
they
you're
were
the wrong skin
doing.
tone or whatever. You can look up
Yeah.
those stories, by the way. The military getting detained and also the mother getting detained from Puerto Rico. American citizens getting detained, and ICE didn't believe them. They did not get deported, thankfully, but it's
I
still,
guess they
yeah,
I guess they don't know what they're doing, and they do need to be trained better, and they do need to, instead of doing it all probably on a limb, they just need to get trained and actually
yeah,
take the time to get the right people instead of just willy-nilly just grabbing all kinds of people off the, like, so yeah, so thank you for educating me and thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you. I'll let you go to the next caller, but it was very nice talking to you, and maybe, and you did open my eyes to something. Maybe I should look a little bit into it more about the people that are unlawfully getting deported. That's really wrong. And thank you very much
yeah.
for giving me the time to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you for calling in. And yeah, immigration law is weird. It's hard to understand sometimes. There's a difference between crossing the border illegally and sometimes it's a civil infraction. So a lot of illegal immigrants that they talk about are not even technically illegal. It's really just all complicated stuff. And I would say for
It's
the
a
people
mess.
watching as
Yeah.
well, just don't trust anyone in media. If their first reaction is to make you blame your neighbor and to make you hate someone or saying like liberals think this or conservatives think this, they're probably gonna give you a bad
No,
way to interact with the world because
no,
they want you to they want your brain to fight each other or
yeah, no,
fight one another.
I'm not the type to be easily swayed. I look at things very
Yeah,
logical.
that's really good.
I'm not a hateful person, I just hate the people that are here that are just not good people because I've walked all aspects of life, and there's a lot of them that don't get ever prosecuted, things like that. But in the same sense, teachers shouldn't, unless they did something wrong, then okay, but
Yeah.
things
When
like
it comes
that,
to
I don't
avoiding the
agree with.
law, for avoiding the law, I'm worried about all the white collar criminals, all the rich people that never get held to like the
Yeah,
opioid
I mean, there's so
companies and
many of, yeah, in general, there's so
the
many,
big pharma
like,
companies. I feel like the rich are the biggest issue. I feel like we need to come together against the ultra powerful and all that kind of stuff.
yeah,
Come together as
and
like
I
working
totally
people.
agree. And I
All
totally
right. Well,
agree. But yes, you have a good day, and
yeah, I hope to see you
thank
around
you
the
so much
channel.
for enlightening me.
Yeah, thank you for the conversation. I really enjoyed this call. Yeah, have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye.